Good evening and welcome back to I and I channel. This is my story. And this evening I am going to talk about when I was young and want to become a man. You know, it was it was something that a little boy, you watch your cousin them and see how they dress and what they wear. I remember when they used to have you remember those shoes they used to call Cougar? I remember those hat they used to call Weather Balloon. And them time they, watching my cousin them, they were like, them dress and them knife wrap up in a gleaner and, Clark's booty and Marina and, rag over shoulder. So that was my thing because, I remember bar trunks. Yeah, man. Whenever time you're a little boy and you wear a bar trunk, you're a big man. Yes, man, you're a big man. Some usually have all, cause them have all a used bar trunk, now wear no more than me have that, and have all a rag over my shoulder and a matches sticking on me side of my mouth, Nobody can tell me say me am a big man. So, growing up, you want to become a man. Hear this now. Me now, as a little youth, used to, when I stand up, I used to love push my hand in my pocket. So you know that my grandmother will watch me, Watch me, man. So I used to, when she called me and talking to me, I used to lean up and have my hand in my pocket, and stuff. So one day she called me and she said, she used to call me Pa. Because Pa was my pet name, When me hear Pa, me not go get no beating or me not go, that name they just is a pet. I mean, me just buck all my toe for purpose for them just take up my foot in the hand and, pet me, So one day she said, come here, Pa. So me go over to her, and she said, tell me something. You turning a man? I said, right, no, ma'am. Them time you can, it was no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, or yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. You can't go call people by them first name, man. Boop! Yes. So me say, no, ma'am. So calmly, and she asked me, and no, ma'am. So what happened, hear this now. You see my clothes that me wear, my clothes them used to just tear up. I don't know, because one time me lick one Jankro and my grandmother said, if you lick Jankro, your clothes are going to tear up. All my brief them tear up, Tear up. So my grandmother feel always a patch. You still talk about patchy jeans and patchy this and patchy that. Me I wear patchy clothes from when flour bag I make underwear and crocus bag. So you see when my grandmother, after she asked me if me a ton man and everything cool and stuff, So when that was my grandmother work. She sew for me every day. Patch up different piece of cloth. You have 10 different pieces of cloth in a one pants. See? Because we don't have clothes, We're poor. So, you see when Saturday night now, you get your shorts, your patch up clothes to put on, and stuff. So when me get my pants now, and put it on, guess what? You see the 4-packet? The 4-packet stitch up soap, with red thread. Me can push me under my pocket, I said, boy, what is that now? So that was just a clear message. I tell me, say, look, you's not a man, because I guess me act like a man. Me stand up like a man and push hand in a pocket and I pose like say, me a man. So that was the thing. You're not man yet. So as long as you're on a grandma roof, you're not man yet. So you know, I'm gonna push no hand in a pocket and yeah, the pocket them sew up with red thread. So you saw me I say. So me that want me to come man, you know. So all them thing there, you know, look back now and you know, because hey, you see back in them days, my grandmother was the person is like she was the nurse for the neighborhood. Any type of healing or bush or sickness or whatever, you come to my, even sprain, if you have a sprain, my grandmother have the remedy feet. She was also a midwife, deliver many babies, never go school. My grandmother never, from I grew up with my grandmother never go nowhere yet. I live with my grandmother and never see my grandmother take sick and go to the doctor. My grandmother, when my grandmother takes sick, she didn't go to the doctor, and that was, you know, our time when she, you know, she ill and, you know, she was feeling a lot of pain and stuff, and she passed away. But never go to any doctor. She have, because she plant all these different herbs. Because we used to, we as kids, you know, we used to have to drink like something bitter in the morning before we can get some, maybe some chocolate tea or whatever. So they always are purging us, you know, cleanse the blood and all them stuff. So them have all the remedy for everything. And she, I up till right now, I saw my grandmother do something. I don't think I'm gonna, cause this could be, no, I'm not gonna say this. Maybe I do something different on that topic there, but I'm gonna leave that, because if I say that, maybe somebody gonna take it and, you know, do something with it. But she have all this remedy, old time remedy, where is the natural herb and even some of the fruit that we eat, she use it for medicine and healing purpose. You know, so growing up with my grandmother, that was fun. And as I said, we did poor, and we have our home, even the floor, that, you know, the floor, we don't have like polish to clean it or anything. We have natural weeds, bush, that we go and pick and use to do the floor. Man, them floor be shine like a gala wax. You know, you ever say a gala wax? But you're the joke now we talk about gala wax. Some creature will live in a wall. Grandmother say, if gala wax bite you, and the gala wax reach water before you dead. Well, me no know, but I feel them think that, and you know, them what them learn, them pass it down to them grandchildren or whatever. But as I said, we did poor, but I'm telling you, the one room we have, them teach us cleanliness. I can brag and boast and say that we didn't have anything, but when it comes on to cleanliness, they teach us. And they teach us not to nyami. Oh yes, enka. You know, when you're in the country, you know, and as a little boy and your friend them would come to your house, come henka. Yes, a henka, they usually call it. You know? And I never like it, because guess what happened? Them come, them go short my dinner. You see, if I have to get 1.5 dumpling, I might all just get one, because my friend them come and stay and them get dinner. And as soon as them eat it down, you know, them gone, you know, and they just come short my food. You so bored me, man, vex, man. because I love food, crave. Yeah, so as I said, we did poor. And we didn't have mattress. Remember the Kaya mattress that we didn't used to have? Yeah. And but my bed now, I want like a board bed, where them back, And the mattress now for my bed, all of the dry banana leaf them. Grandmother would strip them off of the tree, and she had one big pillowcase, and she stuffed the dry banana trash in that, man. That are my mattress. So at night time, the mattress almost touch the ceiling, because it's so high. And the banana trash them crisp. So you maybe I make nice maybe about 2-3 nights until they're weird, So that was my bed. And imagine we didn't have cups. So all the condensed can, the condensed milk can, when we cut them, we would cut them and beat the edge down, and the top we kind of bend it to make a handle. That was our cup. Yes, that was our cup. So you see how poor we were, but happy than us you couldn't find. We were so happy, joyful, and we were so independent, And back then, you didn't have people sicky like that. Because in our little district, we didn't have no factories, nothing to pollute the air. When you get up in the morning, you use the dew water off the banana leaf or of the cocoa leaf to wash your face. Natural. It was so natural. We use the tuna for our hair. And you know what was my toothpaste? The charcoal, like the pimenta wood coal. I would get a little piece and I would put it in a cloth and I would beat it up fine and tip a little salt in it and twist it, and I would use that to clean my teeth. And then we have chew stick. And you chew it up and it's frothy. Natural stuff we used to have. And that was fun. It was so authentic. Antique them days. Nice days we were living. In the country we were content with all we have. And I heard that, I don't know my grandfather. I guess he passed away when I was, baby or whatever. But I heard that my grandfather used to beat Duppy. Now, that was one of the things that kind of struck me, Beat Duppy. If somebody dead and buried, how you manage to beat him? You get him alive? No, you can't be. You must be beating alive, man. Duppy lay down, Duppy can't get up. Or you go beat him. But at that time, said my grandfather used to beat Duppy and stuff. So you live and you learn and you understand certain things. But them days, man, were nice. Because for real, we have to make our own entertainment. We didn't have like bearing, but we have a special tree they call trumpet. It grow. That tree have joints like bamboo, and the joints them is about an inch apart. So, and then that tree, trumpet tree, it grow really big and long. And when you cut one of those trees, the amount of water, because sometimes, in the country we have drought, and that's what we have to do. Cut those trees and water running like a river stream. And then we used to use the you know, after we cut it down, we used to make wheel out of it, because I have this neat hole in it. So we would cut it, and you know, we make push cart, we make bike, because that was our wheel bearing, because we didn't have any wheel bearing. And then what we would do with it too, we would, that same, you know, it's round and neat, and we would get the car tire, cut it out, and we use the car tire to wrap it so it's much smoother. Then we put the axle, is a piece of wood in it, and then we would grease it with, you know, like sour orange and stuff to keep it moist, you know, because we didn't have grease or anything like that. So that was our activity, either a bike or you know, we make a cart like a barrow. So we have to make our own entertainment. And I used to love to play drums, but I make my own drum. You know, I would get a bucket, and I would cut out both. I would, you know, cut out the bottom, I know the top always, and we have clay, and then around the rim of it would put the clay around it. And I always like to use like a piece of khaki cloth, and then, you know, the clay is wet around the rim of the bucket, so when you put the piece of khaki cloth over it, the clay just hold it, and you know, you smooth it down till that it hit firm, so you, when you knock it, you hear it sound. But we used to use the sweet potato leaf, so we would rub it up, tip a little water, and we would rub on top of that cloth. Each time you knock the sound, you hear it different, and it green, you know, you rub it, and you hear the different sound. Man, when we get it right, and we start to, and it's moonshine night, sometime my friend would have a piece of comb with a piece of plastic, somebody have a grater, and then now me have this pin pan underneath me arm, and will be and then we're singing Slide Mongoose, Your Name Gone Abroad. And that's how we march. Moonshine night, you know, bright and pretty. The sky just sharp and pretty with all them stars. Because we didn't have light, you know, we didn't have power, you know, there, so it was just darkness. So the more it dark, the better you see the sky. The sky was like I mean, it just glitter, you know, with stars. So those are the wonderful things, you know, we used to do, as I say, growing up, and, you know, want to become a man before time, and, you know, we invent our own invention, you know. When it's kite season, I used to get the rice bag, and I would cut the bottom and the top off, and I would sit down for days and pull out strand by strand and tie them, and have my little fire to burn the end. So when you look at my ball of thread, big and long, so, you know, Easter kite season, man, I make some of the best kite, man. You know, when I send my kite out, you know, sometimes I can't even take it back in, because it is so much way up there. So we usually have a lot of fun. And I can remember when we first get asphalt road in Garden Hill, Stepney. We remember we have to, us as the community, we have to roll stone down from the hillside, and every yard gate you see pile of stone. Every day people out there broken stone, cracking stone. You know, we're making gravel. until the first asphalt around Garden Hill. I was there. And when the first light posts go up in Garden Hill, Stepney, I was there. Cause the guys them who put up the pole, me and them become friends. Because they, up there they did plant a lot of winter vegetable. And the man love winter vegetable. So as a little boy, always, things like those I always admire. When the man climbing the pole, man, it was fascinating to me to just watch them. So I remember one of the guy, I was talking to him and I was telling him that I would love to, like, bearing, like, you get wheel bearing out of cars and stuff like that. So I was telling him, say I would like to get 2 bearing. So every time he come, I would give him winter vegetable. Man, one day he come and he give me 2 nice bearing. That was my Christmas. I get to make my bike. Man, trust me. And that was my thing. So asphalt and the first light post. I remember this man when he first saw a light pole with a light on it. He was like, whoa, look. He never seen moon pan stick. He thought it was a moon there on the stick. So, but it were nice though. Growing up in the country, in spite of we don't have much and stuff. And I used to love dance too, because I used to love to listen down the countdown chart, Saturday night, and I remember Barry G and all them. Yeah, man. So it was fun. It was fun. A lot of fun. And it was it's worth something to talk about, growing up as a little boy. And I mentioned about, running in school. I used to high jump. I used to could jump really high. For some reason, I don't know why, but as a little boy, I practiced to do those stuff. High jump and running. Yeah, I was very quick. And long distance running, I mean sprinting, you name it. I remember one time I was at school, and it was like a PE. So the teacher took us out, and we were running and we were high jumping. So 2 of my classmates were holding a piece of stick for me to jump over it. But the way I go over it, just footway, just go over and land back on my feet. And they raise it higher, go over, and I go over it until they go up with their hand high so they can't go no further, and I go over it. And the teacher was watching, and the teacher, she tall, and she took it and she hold it, and I go right over it. It was amazing to her. I used to love soccer, and I know if I did get the opportunity from that young age to play soccer, you'd hear about Pele much. You'd maybe hear about yes, so but it didn't happen. But at school, running, man, that was fun to me. Oh yes, fun. People who say they're fast. I remember I have this friend, a young guy too. I think he did younger than me, and he tall. I think about 6 something or whatever. But my friend Strachan, tall and very fast. I look upon him, I have to look upon him, So one day I told him, he used to call me Ticker. They used to call me Ticker. So one day I look at my friend and say, you know, I can't run leave you, you know. And he looked down at me and say I'm crazy. I said, yes, I can't run leave you. Because that's how firmly in myself that when I tell her, say, look, I gotta run leave you. So anyway, with this, him decided to race me. And it was in the street. And no, he's very quick too. But let me tell you something. You hear them talk about small axe, fall big tree. Man, I mean, this man have the physique to run. And let me tell you something. The short man burn him up. And you see from that, he have such a respect for me. And we used to play soccer. And it's like this avenue playing against this avenue. And everybody seemed like they want to play on my side, because sometimes my brethren would just give me the ball and say, just carry it, Ticker. Carry it. And man, I'm telling you. And people been watching, you know, and stuff like that. So I used to go at, you know, sports. I used to love swimming and all them stuff. And I train very hard. Although not entering any competition, I used to get up early in the morning to run. I used to swim. And then, you know, I used to pull boat. I mean, I do everything for exercise. Even on the track where the horse came on a spark, I used to train over there. I used to run, you know, do like a 1 lap around the track. Because and one of the time I get into boxing. Wishing I didn't like boxing, you know. I didn't like boxing. So I did get into it and, you know, start to kind of like it, you know, And the first time in the ring, you know, sparring, I knocked the guy out with a jab. And they were looking at my hand and I said, man, this, your hand them not, you know, they're small. How you knock out somebody with a jab? But I did have somebody who were training me, where he teach me a certain technique and how to balance and how to use my body with the punch and stuff like that. So I was effective, you know. But I didn't like boxing though. Too much batteration in your head. Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, I'm gonna take butter bruise in my head for, I mean, you know, what money, stuff like that. So, you know, and I see what boxing do to a lot of, you know, professional. I mean, some say, you know what, there are many ways him say to hang dog without put rope around your neck. So if one door closed, many can open. And I didn't like how a manager behave, you know. So I decided to say, watch out. I'm gone, you know. Yeah. So my story is a long journey, you know, and many batteration. Butter, man. When I say butter. Butter like breadfruit. You ever say when breadfruit drop on butter, you can't even eat it. But I never, one thing though, you know, growing up and stuff, I wasn't a Christian or anything like that. But you know how I acknowledge God and know that God is real? Is sometimes when I sit down on the beach and I look and see the ocean, and I ask myself the question, how do I come about? Why am I here? You know? And you look at it and you say, you gotta be a higher power. Must be a higher power. So when some people would say, there is no God exists, no, you can't make your own world. As small as a leaf is a living cell. And as small as it is, no human being can make it. No human being can make a leaf, a living cell. So I have to acknowledge that there is a God, and there is none like him, or none beside him. You know, and from that time I learned to fear God. But in a way, I did fear God in a way that, like, you know, I've been afraid of him. But God don't want us to be afraid of him, you know, because the moon and the stars, you know, I remember as a little boy, they always telling you, you know, if you try to count, they tell you that don't count it because God will strike you down. And I'm saying to myself, now when you read the Bible and you understand and you see how loving and caring God is, that all these things, he made them for us to enjoy, this wonder, you know, for us to just look at nature, because we are part of nature too, and be free and acknowledge the one who made nature. You know, God don't want us to be afraid of him. God wants us to love him and, you know, just do the right thing. So I kind of drift there. But as I'm saying, my story, you know, growing up, it was fun. We do our activities, we have to do them over and over and over. And, you know, we become good at them. You know, we have so many different seasons. We have cricket season. We have football season. Them time, we don't have football. You know, we have to use for football a grapefruit. Yeah, we have to use a grapefruit for football. And we have cricket, you know, we get a tennis ball, and when it's at kite season, tug of war season, I mean, you name it. So we all always active. And we have land, even though our grandparents, they didn't have much land, but we take advantage of other people who, like the principal who used to beat us very bad. He have a lot of property. So we could go down there and run up and down and pick off his breadfruit them and his mango and jackfruit and orange and pear, and we just name without any care. Yes, because we say him beat we bad, so guess what? We are gonna make him fruit them fenny. But as I look back and think about it and see, you know, the way we grow up, and it wasn't so glorified and easy to, because we play rough. You know, we use the rotten orange and the jackfruit, and we food fight, and we beat each other, and we never, you know, fight, because we plant a lot of coffee and we have a lot of orange and grapefruit. So at certain time of the year, we used to pick it, put it out, and then a truck would come around and collect it. And then the coffee, we have to take it to a certain place, and, you know, stuff like that. So what I used to do when the orange truck come around to pick up the orange, so we would go up on a, you know, with the truck passing, you can look down on it. So we'd go up on a banking and we'd hide all the rotten orange up there. So the guys in the truck, when they reach up there and they're gonna go down the hill, man, we would start to throw rotten orange at them and stuff. We just do that as fun. And that's a part of where we grow up and stuff. And until we I'm in the country there, and I'm thinking and I'm saying, man, we in the country every day we're gone, it's just farming. And I start to get tired of it. Cause you go out and you work and you come in and you don't have a little radio or a little television or nothing, and so I plan to run away. Yes, I plan to run away. And I remember one time I saved up all my little silver, and I say, okay, I'm gonna run away now, So the morning I take the bus and the bus reach a point where the man start to collect bus fare. So the man, he know me, and stuff. So he will live right beside one of my auntie out on Common Road here. So he know me. So he asks, when he come to me and he asks, where am I going? I told him I'm going to collect my chicken them. So him look down on my foot and he see that I'm barefoot. So him tell the guy, the driver, Jinjin, to start the bus. And he take my money, And he tell me 2 of the Jamaican patois. And I have to fly off the bus. And let me tell you something. I have to walk a long distance to reach back home. And when I reach back home in the district, it's like everybody in the district beat me up. Shame would kill me. And everybody whispering over their mouth, You go to school and they say, oh yes. Teddy say my bad picnic, they do not run away. But I'm up there and I'm looking and I'm saying, man, it seems like it just stagnant, As young people, there is nothing going on. You just get up and you go to the field and you work, and then you go home and you go out to the field and you work and you go home, and I see my cousin them out there work hard and play a big field. And yet still, I'm struggling. And I used to love watch movies, I love movies, I used to love karate movies and all them stuff, So I actually told a lie to my grandmother because I didn't want to run away so bad. Told her that I get a job in St. Ann's Bay at the Civil Theatre, and I was supposed to start so and so. So I was the vehicle for my grandmother, to carry water, to look wood, everything. So I just started to look wood for about 2 weeks. Pack up the cellar, man. When you look on the cellar, I sell a cork with wood. And I lie, me tell you, and decide now to leave now and go back down to my mom. My mother never want me which part. Because my mother said she me bad, And when we come back, she warn me, She give me some warning, I say. But anyway, I did get a job at the theater, that show house. I did really get a job there. And they were paying me $15 a week. Now I'm getting $15 a week. I was a millionaire. I was rich. Very rich. And let me tell you something. When it come on to Christmas, I don't think nobody can bush like me. Because I'm gonna buy ready-made pants, a pair pants length, pair cloth me buy and can tailor off and make my pants cut to fit. You understand me? And then me in my ladder plastic boot and my zip up, sleeveless shirt and my corduroy pants. Slick. Can buy a beer. So every Christmas, and guess what happened? You see, out of the $15 a week, that me save out of, you know. Save out of and be independent. And learn to save. Learn to save. Until me get a job at the upon a site, they might pay $20 a day. Now me become a big millionaire now. $20 a day, $100 for the week. Nobody can talk to me, man. So I saw me grow, you know. And I want to tell you, you know, after me leave St. Ansby and go Kingston, and I remember one time I was walking through Cumberland and stuff, and I was, you know, trying to know the place, me and my brother them and some friends. And I told them, we passed Caymanas Park, and I said, look, I want a job over there, you know. And them I said, what? Job out? You know, say, actually, I get a job over there. And he was paying me $50 a week. And I learned to cut and know how to, you know, save out $50 a week. Until I told him, you know, we sit down at night and we were talking. I said, the next place I want a job is at the airport. Will you believe me? I get a job at the airport. Yes, working on cleaning plane. How are they, man? So, this is me now. When I make up my mind to do something, there is no one on the face of the earth can disencourage me. Only God have to say, look, no. But a regular human being, there is nothing you're gonna do, or any friend or any family. You know, I start a lot of things, you know, and when I was in Jamaica, and I told some of my friends, I said, this is what I'm gonna do. And you know, they say, oh, it's not gonna work, and rain and blah blah, this is not gonna work. You just, and I said, okay, this is me, this is how I stay. I have to try it first, and if it don't work, and I said, okay, but you cannot tell me, say it's not gonna work. And when I started out, man, it took off so good that, you know, I said, so you can't even trust your own self, but put your trust in God, yeah. Because, and from them time, I learned to trust God. And nothing. You don't want to trust God when you have something. Trust Him when you have nothing. See, you don't want to trust God when you're healthy and you have good health and strength. You want to trust Him, yes. But even when you don't have good health and strength, trust Him same way. You understand? So, growing up, it was fun. And I always can say, I really respect and honor the way I've been brought up. My grandmother, how they teach me, and, you know, I learn from others. And learn, and we have respect for the elders. Respect for the elders, especially. I don't know how children nowadays don't have respect for their parents. You know, no respect. And, you know, we don't have respect for each other. We don't show love to each other. You know, why we hate? Why do we hate? Because if a person if you don't love yourself, then that simply means you're gonna hate others. If you love yourself, then you're gonna love others. So if you hate yourself, you're not gonna love others. Think about it. Well, thank you for watching this video. You know, some of the things I said that wasn't a part of my growing up, but you know, you have to mention. You can't forget where you're coming from and stuff. And it wasn't me who preserving me now. You understand? We have to give God the honor and the glory for everything. Remember now, you know, as I say, it's like a tree and a leaf. In order for the leaf to be green and fruitful, it have to stick to the vine, you know, the source. So when we unplug ourselves from the source of life, then we are open ducks to the enemy. You understand? And we know the enemy don't love no one. He just out to kill and to destroy. So we can't live out God in whatever we do. Him come first. God come first. Because if it wasn't God, then what would we achieve or accomplish? Because we wouldn't exist. You understand? So everything we do, we have to remember it is God. Because when we do things and God don't in it, friend, we're walking on chalk line. So if you like this video, please do subscribe, like, and share, and just talking, you know, just reasoning. Have a blessed day.